everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner.
And I'm Mitch, and I'm a horrible spectator.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I was up at Bayshore for the weekend, and I got the opportunity to be on the other side. It sucks. Who wants to go and watch?
Oh my gosh. So you don't like watching marathons?
I like participating.
Well, let's okay. I know that's not the subject of today's episode, but let's dive into that a little bit. I want to hear more about this. I forgot all about that. You went up there.
I think I was grouchy like the whole time. Like
that because you weren't running.
Yeah. You know what's great though is a couple of friends from work went up there and they ran. And they were on opposite ends, right? So one went up there with only running 9 miles max before they ran the marathon.
Whoa! Hang on. What training plan was that?
I think that's I'd say a great one.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But he took lots of pictures and drank lots of beer on the course and turned it into fun. I think he paid dearly.
But he finished.
And it
and
wasn't,
as Terrence says, but did you die?
Yeah. I think it was close. The other one is a big sandbagger, as it turns out. So there's like a running group and a running chat. So I just have to call her out now. Amy went up there, and this is her 5th marathon this year. So she's not a slacker by any means, but has run all the majors except for Boston, and was looking at doing a charity to get in. And charities have gone up for that. It's about $10,000 you have to raise if you're going to run it as charity.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, you could qualify. And I've been giving her a hard time. I don't know where she pulled this out of. She got a 20-minute PR and qualified for Boston.
Oh, wow.
In this race.
Oh, congrats.
So I was excited about that stuff. I mean, it was fun to watch that. I just want to be more part of it.
Where were you at? What mile? Near the finish? Or?
I was at the finish because Tammy and Lily did the 10K. So we rolled up just as they were finishing, and I was fighting with dogs and everything else.
You rolled up when they were Tammy and...
Yeah, because they went out there separately. They ran, and then Celia and I waited, and we went to watch them at the finish line.
Gotcha.
And we were there just in time to watch them roll into finish.
Okay. And then you hung around to watch the others finish.
Yeah, and I didn't. I was actually going to get on my bike and ride the course, and I just didn't feel like it. So I just didn't do it.
But it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day for running. I guess maybe that's what helped Eric finish, is it was cooler weather, even though he didn't train.
9 miles, the 9 mile plan.
Yeah.
That would be the new thing.
I think he approached it correctly though, for not training, is just to have fun with it.
He took his sweet old time throughout it.
There's pictures of him with dogs, pictures of him in weigh stations with people. I mean, it's funny.
That's funny. He embraced it.
And she worked.
Why did he, I'm just curious, you might not know this, but did he just I didn't get around to get the training in, so I was already signed up, so I'm just going to go and have fun?
He got in a motorcycle accident a couple years ago, and he broke his foot. And this is the first race since then.
Gotcha.
So, and I think that training was hard.
That Eric.
Yeah. And it hurt, and his foot was hurt. And
well, he doesn't always follow through the greatest training anyway, does he? And then he had the accident to boot.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a reputation.
But he does have fun. Oh, now I know why he was on so many pictures. I think his hand is stuck like this sometimes.
It is.
I hope he hears this.
I'll have to point it out. I've thrown everybody else in the running group under the bus already, so I may as well do that.
He is fun to run with, though. Well, that's cool. Congrats to everybody that did the Bayshore Marathon last weekend. It was great weather. This wouldn't be last weekend now when this airs, but at any rate, congrats to all the finishers. Congrats to Amy for qualifying for Boston. Hopefully she goes.
By 5 minutes, but more than 5 minutes. So she's guaranteed
Should be in, yeah. Yeah, because it's been right around 4 or 5, right? I think where you got to beat it by.
Yeah. And I think they changed the times again, so.
Faster.
It's faster.
Yeah. Well, hey, today's episode is going to be all about marathons. Kinda. I mean, it is. It's all about marathons. But this is going to be about unique marathons.
Yeah, we found 10
extremely unique marathons. We're not saying that they're the top 10 or they're just 10 of 10 of the most unique marathons. Yeah. And I'm sure those listening to this can find 10 more very unique marathons, but these are 10 of them.
Because we searched more and there's like some other cool stuff too. And we're kind of getting stuck in the weeds.
Yeah. So in order to not have this be a 3-hour episode, we're just going to cover these 10.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to read through these and go, oh, that'd be cool. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, that'd be cool. And then you pull up another list of 10 and you go, well, those would be cool too. It becomes this.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, like on the other list when I was researching, Disney Marathon was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. So that's
very unique.
That's not on this list, but it's unique.
An example of another one that's very unique that a lot of people listening, well, not a lot of people listening, but a lot of people listening may have already done.
Yeah.
We have friends that have done it. Disney, well, first of all, Disney Marathon is unique by itself. And then they have the whole goofy and dopey challenges, which is very unique. 3 or 4 days in a row of running. 5K, 10K, half, and full.
Yeah.
So, and you said that's what inspired you to really dive into the back-to-backs or the multi-day.
Yeah, because that's the first one. I wanted to mention that one because that's the first one I heard about that. It's like, oh, that would be cool. But, oh my gosh, is that expensive? If you want to do the dopey challenge,
no kidding.
And to stay in Disney, you'd be ready to spend some money. That's why I haven't done it, actually.
They print money there, I think, at Disney.
Seems like it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's not unique enough for this list. Kidding. It is unique, but that is not on this list. So yeah, we're going to rattle through 10 of these. We're just going to talk about some highlights. It's kind of cool. The list that Mitch put together here also offers some firsthand experience of the race, which I think is kind of a neat little add to this list. So even though we have not necessarily run these, there are some cool little takeaways that make you think of, maybe I do want to go do that, and this may be something I get to see. We're going to start off in a cold place.
Yeah, so the Antarctica Ice Marathon.
That sounds fun.
Well, it says the temperature's typically around 4 degrees.
Yeah, Fahrenheit.
Or
Fahrenheit.
Negative 4.
20 Celsius.
Yeah, -4 Fahrenheit.
Or -4. Yeah, not 4. -4.
So if you like cold.
Yeah. Says this is the only marathon run on mainland Antarctica, truly at the bottom of the world. Runners face extreme conditions, snow and ice underfoot, average wind chill temperatures of -20 Celsius, -4 Fahrenheit, and potentially a potential for fierce. What is that word? Katabatic?
Yeah, you weren't.
I searched other words. I missed that one.
Some crazy winds.
Crazy winds.
How about we just call it that?
Yeah.
K is for crazy.
K for crazy. Katabatic. Maybe somebody can tell us what that means. I don't know. Oh wait, I just double clicked. No. Anyway, all in an extreme elevation of around 3,000 feet, 900 meters. It's up there. It's okay. It's a test of survival as much as endurance. And I have seen, this isn't your, I'm going to PR or I'm going to go to Boston based on this time.
So what would runners like about this? The sheer bragging rights. I think this is just, other than that, it's just dumb. It sounds like, but I like it,
Yeah.
To tell people, it's like, I ran in Antarctica.
Well, it is. It's isn't that a, well, that's one of the 7 continents ones, because that's the only one that you can do there.
Yep.
I just looked up quickly the fastest recorded. Take a guess what the fastest. Well, don't even worry. It is 2 hours. It's in the 2 hours and 53 minutes.
So
that's the fastest time.
So you could go and set a record there if you're a fast guy and can suck it up.
There have been some very fast elite runners that have tried that marathon, and that is a fast time. That is.
Hey, it doesn't sound fast to me.
Let's see what Sean Tobin, he set the record. I'm guessing he's elite level. Yep. Let's see. Fast marathon time. Oh. Well, that doesn't make sense. Because they're saying his fastest time. No, they got to have the wrong one. Yeah, that can't be right. 2:53:33. Maybe that. I think it's referencing that. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But, and a big part of that, too, is if you want to run all the 7 continents, that's going to be your race.
That's the one to do it with.
Yeah.
First-hand experience insight is you'll come back with stories no one else can even imagine. I can imagine that. The cold is piercing. Yep. And every breath is a challenge. But the silence and the stark beauty of the landscape are absolutely profound. It's less about your finish time and more about finishing. I had not thought about the whole silence thing.
Yeah.
Because think about that when you're running in the winter and that there's a nice just layer of snow. That literally, to me, it just feels like that silences things.
Yeah. Well, it is. When it's that cold, you ever run in the morning in the cold when it's that cold?
Yeah.
Or in the it's just, that's all you hear is your feet hitting the snow. It seems
so quiet. Yeah. It's so peaceful. The next one, the Great Wall of China, or the Great Wall Marathon in China. What makes it unique? Runners tackle what makes it unique? Well, it's the Great Wall, first of all. That's pretty unique. But it says runners tackle 5,164 ancient stone steps, steep ascents and descents directly on the Great Wall of China. The course also winds through traditional Chinese villages and rice fields.
You know what's funny about that? I believe there's a couple different Great Wall marathons, I think.
Oh.
It seemed, there's a couple different ones that say that they run on the Great Wall.
Yep.
Tony that we had on here has run that.
Really?
And I think that he dropped to the half based on the 5,164 steps.
You can't imagine. And these aren't.
So I think it was harder. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard race.
These aren't 7-Eleven steps either, like your house. These are ancient stone steps.
I think there's sections of that I've heard that you have to use your hands to climb too.
So. Yeah. And it's steep in areas. And, and then the other fact is that it's stone. Do you know how, well, you do, but those listening, if you've never ran on rock for long periods, like stone on rock, like we do in Marquette Trail 50 is on a lot, that hurts your body.
It is. There's no give.
No give. It hurts. Like if you run on, even asphalt is more forgiving than stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if I'm running, I will get off the sidewalk and get onto the asphalt on purpose sometimes because I think it is easier on your body.
Yeah. Well, and definitely from an energy suck standpoint, asphalt does not. You get more use from energy exertion on asphalt than you do on trail or dirt or whatever. What runners like about it? The incredible historical immersion and stunning panoramic views. It's a physical and mental challenge due to the relentless steps and varying terrain, but the cultural experience and the feeling of running on one of humanity's greatest achievements are unforgettable. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, you can actually see the Great Wall from space. Like to say, I would just like to visit it anyway, and then why not run a marathon?
Yeah. And you could say you've ran on two things that you can see from space because you did the Grand Canyon, rim to rim to rim. Right? That's one you can see, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. My quad, here's the first-hand experience, and this totally makes sense. My quad screamed from all the steps, but every time I looked up and saw the wall stretching into the distance, it was worth it. The villagers cheering you on with such enthusiasm truly lifts your spirits. That's true. Like when you looked up and you saw that you're on the Great Wall, like that would be pretty cool. Next up, Midnight Sun Marathon in Norway. This was one of the first words that I had to look up. What makes it unique? It is held in, I Tromso. All right, let me pull up my cheat sheet. Here,
How it spells it out for you?
I can hear this. Tromso.
I like that part.
Yeah, it's Tromso. Tromso, Norway, above the Arctic Circle. This marathon takes place in June when the sun never fully sets. Runners experience the surreal phenomenon of racing in broad daylight at midnight.
I think I would. I have not heard one that I don't want to do yet.
Me neither. It seems fun. Anything that's unique like this that makes it just different.
Says it's a relatively flat course through an Arctic city. The endless daylight.
I suppose most marathons are in daylight, but the fact that you're running at midnight.
Yeah, running at midnight and doing that, because that's why I was looking at doing one in Alaska, is I wanted to go there. The race would be in the morning, but I wanted to go there during the summer solstice.
Which was June, right?
Yeah.
You were looking at like June-ish?
Yeah.
End of June?
That was a hook for me, is to go to Alaska at that time.
Yeah, that would be cool. Cool and also hard, especially when you're doing a normal, well, I guess I say hard, but if you're an ultra runner, shut your windows, you can get some sleep still. First-hand experience of the midnight sun run in Norway. It felt so strange to be running at 1 a.m. with the sun still high in the sky. It messes with your internal clock, yep, but in a fantastic way. The scenery around, Tromso, is also surprisingly beautiful. Now, it's funny because it's very flat, so
yeah,
surprisingly beautiful. Next up, Marathon du Médoc, which is France. This is another one I just double-checked. Médoc. Anytime it's foreign, I'm just like, is that really as simple as it looks? What makes it unique? Known as the longest marathon in the world, this race... I was like, they forgot an S. Races, but it's not. This race through the vineyards of the Médoc region is less about speed and more about celebration. It features... Here you go.
I've looked at this one before. 23 wine tasting stops.
If you like wine, here's your race.
Yeah.
23 stops, local delicacies like oysters and steak. I know I like that on my marathon.
Why not? Well, instead of goo.
Oh, and a requirement to run in a costume. What's your costume?
Clown.
Of course. I think I'm doing... What would I do? I think I'd pick a superhero, probably the Wolverine. I've always been a fan of the Wolverine, although I don't like the Wolverine's costume necessarily.
Yeah, but you could wear those things on your hands.
Yeah, it might make it difficult at aid stations. You're grabbing whoops.
Slice. You weren't supposed to use real knives.
What runners like about it, the festival, the festive party-like atmosphere, the gourmet aid stations. Think about that. That would be pretty cool. I think you got to take your time on this one.
Oh, man. Could you imagine what your stomach would feel like if you're not careful?
Yeah. Not good.
Brian could handle it. Brian could handle this one.
He'd probably PR. And the opportunity to run through picturesque France, chateau, and vineyards. It's a social event as much as a race, which, makes total sense. Sounds like a fun race for sure.
Again, I still haven't found one I wouldn't do.
No. First-hand experience, this isn't a race for a PR, as we said, except for Brian. It's a party on the run. Don't go if you're serious about your time. Do go if you want to sample incredible wines, eat cheese, and laugh your way to 26.2 miles in a ridiculous costume. That does sound fun. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
The Lewa Safari Marathon in Kenya. What makes it unique? I mean, I would imagine you can guess. Runners race through the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, a World Heritage Site alongside some of Africa's most amazing wildlife, including elephants, giraffes, and rhinos. That would be pretty cool, as long as I'm a little fenced off from the charging ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you get to
I
run?
suppose.
Do you get to run with the elephants and rhinos?
I guess as long as you're not the slowest one in the race, you're probably okay.
No. What if you're the fastest and that's who they see first?
Well, you can back it off a little. That's true. You don't want to be too fast in this one or too slow.
You want to be in the middle of the pack.
Mid-pack is where the party's at.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't say anything about lions, though.
It doesn't, which is really good. What runners like about it? The incredible opportunity to run in such close proximity to wild animals. And here we go, in parentheses. Under strict security, of course. The stunning African landscape and the powerful sense of contributing to a vital cause because it does raise significant funds for wildlife conservation and community development. First-hand experience, you could guess this one. Spotting a giraffe gracefully grazing in the distance while running was truly a pinch-me moment. The red dust, the heat, the incredible mission, it's an experience that stays with you long after the finish line. Yeah. I can't imagine like running and you're seeing like rhinos and elephants, like just that wildlife.
You could run faster if you saw lions.
Man, I don't know. Cautiously. I don't know because you ain't out running them. I'm going to probably slow down and see who's around me. Okay, here's the next one I had to look up. Dang it. All right, we got to go to my pronunciation again. Jungfrau. Here we go. Pronunciation? Jungfrau. Jungfrau Marathon in Switzerland. What makes it unique? This is a challenging mountain marathon. Okay, here we go. With over 1,800 meters, not feet, meters of climbing. The course traverses part road, part gravel, and part trail, offering spectacular views of Eiger Monch, and Jungfrau Mountains in the Swiss Alps. Hey, I only did the words that I saw.
I do. I just want to go to Switzerland someday. But
yeah, some of the whole experiences over there, like even with regard to like going to see Tour de France type stuff, even would be amazing. What runners like about it? The breathtaking alpine scenery throughout the entire course, of course. The sense of accomplishment from conquering such significant elevation gain and the incredible finish line view at Klein. I don't know. How do you say that?
I didn't.
Clean, Schiedig. You got that?
No, I can't pronounce any of that.
A location at the finish line.
Somewhere, yeah, you get to see some cool stuff. That's what it says to me.
Yeah, pretty much what it says. First-hand experience, insight. Every step uphill felt like a climb. Well, that's amazing. But the views just kept on getting better and better. When you finally crest the last hill, and see the snow-capped peaks, it's pure magic.
The one thing it doesn't say is if it's a point-to-point or if it's out back kind of thing, because 1,800 meters, I was looking it up. It's like almost 6,000 feet. So that's a decent climb.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
But if that's over 26.2 miles, that's not.
That is significant, though.
It's significant. It's not the end of the world, though.
Nearly 6,000 feet in a marathon is still. That's a climb marathon.
Yeah, it's definitely significant.
And if it's a loop, you're doing that in half and coming back down.
Well, I would say that's over. That's the one thing I wish we would have done more digging on this one specifically. So we can, if people can follow up on that one, we'll do that afterwards. We'll look up the course and stuff like that on that one.
I'm curious now on that one. Next one, Big Sur International Marathon. A lot of people have heard about this one. Oh, wait, have you done this, Big Sur?
No, I was looking at signing up for it because everybody was doing it.
You did,
but it was like
Surf City.
I did Surf City, but this is like
this is a big one.
$400 entry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and then like and I've already got California, so I was like, I don't know if I want to spend the money on it.
Yeah. This point-to-point course on California's scenic highway offers unparalleled coastal views, towering redwoods, and verdant pastures. The centerpiece is iconic Bigsby Bridge, where runners are serenaded by a tuxedo-wearing concert pianist.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Yeah. And that bridge is up there a ways, it seems like. If you see pictures of it, it looks pretty cool.
Well, the fact that it's on Highway 1, I mean, that's like northern Michigan. Some of the roads that run along, Lake Michigan, stuff like that. Well, I mean, obviously this is much different out there on the Pacific coast, but very scenic like that, up and down the highway. What runners like about it: the stunning natural beauty of California coastline, the artistic and musical interludes along the course, including taiko drummers and samba dancers, and the overall well-organized celebratory atmosphere. The whole redwoods would be pretty sweet too. Running through redwoods, stuff like that. First-hand experience insight, running along the cliffs with the Pacific Ocean crashing below was absolutely awe-inspiring. And hearing the piano on Bigsby Bridge is just iconic. It's truly memorable moment that almost makes you forget the hills.
I think I still would do this someday. I think it's actually on another list as one of the top 10 most beautiful runs in the U.S.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the whole redwoods thing. I mean, that would be amazing. Next up, it's called a marathon, but it is much further. Comrades Marathon in South Africa.
Yeah, this has actually been on my list. I think Terrence talked about it on here too. And
he's done it, right?
He's done it multiple times, I think. And they change the direction each year. Yep. I don't know if it says that on here.
It does. What makes it unique? The world's oldest and largest, and that was interesting. I didn't know that. The world's oldest and largest ultra marathon. So technically it's an ultra marathon. It's approximately 87 to 89 kilometers, 54 to 55 miles, and alternates direction each year between up Durban to, this is one I looked up too. Pietermaritzburg. It's kind of like what it looks like it's spelled. And down Pietermaritzburg to Durban. Each with its own notorious hills. It commemorates the South African soldiers killed in World War I. What runners like about it: the incredible history and tradition, the massive support from enthusiastic South African crowds, and the monumental challenge of completing an ultramarathon. It's a rite of passage for many runners.
This one was actually on my list to be, this was going to be my first ultramarathon back in the day, because I'd heard about it and I was like, that just sounds so dumb. I want to do it.
It is one of those, I think once you start looking at ultras, like this pops up instantly.
And it's on the road too, which is different for an ultramarathon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And
didn't Terrence say he was chasing
the cutoff? Because they close the doors. You're done.
You get scooped up like on a bus.
Yeah, you're done. If you don't make it, if you don't hit the cutoff, you're done.
Yeah.
Like there's no grace.
Yeah, I think one year he said he was, First-hand experience insight, Comrades is more than a race. It's an emotional pilgrimage. The crowds are legendary. And I have seen that. Like when you see videos of it, man, it is massive crowds. And you feel carried by their energy, especially when you're hitting those famous hills. Finishing, it is a profound achievement.
So I heard back in the day you wanted to do the downhill here. And then Terrence, when we talked to him, he was like, no, the uphill is better for some reason. And
I wonder why.
It'll be interesting to hear his comments on that.
I mean, it does make sense like that you would want to go downhill. The only problem is it kills your quads when you do that.
Yeah, and I think no matter what, it says either way you got hills.
Yeah.
So it's just gradually up or gradually down is the difference.
Yeah, I would be curious to know the elevation change on that one. Over 50 miles, point to point, compared to the one we Jungfrau with 1,800 meters.
Yeah.
Next up, this one is on I mean, it's on this would be on my bucket list. Now, I'm not a big traveler. I'm not a big, especially world traveler, because it just costs you a lot of money to go like look at Comrades. That's a trip to South Africa. That's not cheap.
I've heard that's more expensive to go there than you think. But I've heard, somebody was telling me the same thing as doing the Tokyo Marathon, that it wasn't that expensive as what you'd think.
Oh, it's less expensive than you would think.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like staying there, like the lodging and stuff like that there was not that
what
bad.
You would expect.
I was
normal.
like, I don't want to do any majors because it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
And I was told, it's not as bad as you think.
Okay. There's ways to do it on a dime, quote unquote.
This one, I've heard of people going and spending a lot of money to do this race. So,
yeah. Up next is the Athens Authentic Marathon in Greece. And what makes this unique? This is the marathon that traces the original route run by...
Did you have to look that one up too?
I did. Phytopides. Phytopides. What is it? Here we go. Phytopides. I had it.
Oh, man.
Phytopides from Marathon to Athens in 490 BCE, making it the most historically significant marathon. The course is challenging with a long uphill climb from 10 kilometers to 31 kilometers mark. This is what started the marathon.
But I heard to make it 26.2 miles, that's a different story.
Yeah. Right here. Yeah. It says, what runner? Well, no, I guess it doesn't go into that. But yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. So what runners like about the profound connection to the origins of the marathon, the emotional finish line in the you can tell pronunciation of words is not my strong suit.
Yeah, but you try.
Stadium.
You at least try.
Site of the first modern Olympics and the sense of running in the footsteps of history. Yeah, I don't remember whatever it was in order to get them into there and across the finish line is what made it the extra point too.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It was like the Queen of England or something.
Yeah.
Wanted to move the finish line.
Whatever feet or meters. Yeah.
So
further.
it could be in front of the palace or something like that. That's what I heard. I mean, there's fact checking on me, but.
Yeah. But I mean, come on. That's the original marathon.
Yeah.
That would be cool. To run that route, that would be sweet.
That's on my list for sure.
So entries and stay and flights for that can be sent to IDontKnowRunning@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we will gladly go experience that and talk all about it.
We will be, we'll hang out with you.
Yeah. First-hand experience, insight. You can feel the history and with every step. The uphill section is brutal, but knowing you're on the very path Phytopides took gives you the powerful push. Finishing in the ancient stadium is truly a moment of triumph. I mean, think about that too. You're finishing in the stadium that it was finished in. The first was finished in. I mean, that's insane. That would be so amazing to do.
I think it would be too. How many races have you done where you finish in a stadium? That's fun enough.
It is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not done a ton.
Because I was thinking even
2, 3,
even
4?
Fargo. When we ran Fargo to come.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Fargo is amazing because you start inside and go out and finish back in there, which is awesome. Well, the fact that it's not even just like a stadium, it's a dome.
So if there's weather,
no issue.
Yeah, because by time you hit the weather, you're running, so you don't stand in the cold to get started.
That
and
has
then
to
you
be,
finish, and you can change your clothes.
You're inside.
Inside.
So cool. What a great experience. And then Toledo or Glass City is the only other one.
I did. I finished at Notre Dame before too.
Yeah, now they don't do that anymore.
They don't do that one, but to finish at Notre Dame was cool.
Yeah,
finish on the 50-yard line.
I wish I would have done that. I was considering that back, I don't know, years and years ago when they were still finishing in it.
But I think that pales to compare to this.
Oh,
How cool would this be?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Finally, we started cold and we're going to go back to cold.
Well, it says it's in Greenland. That's warm, right?
No, that's the whole,
Is that the whole lie?
The name change, or swap or whatever. The Polar Circle Marathon in Greenland, which means it's all green, right?
Yeah. Well, it's billed as the coolest marathon on Earth.
So coolest as in cold. This race takes place in the Greenlandic ice cap That does not sound nice.
Through icy tundra.
Runners navigate icy roads and a glacier. Come on, tongue?
That is tongue.
Okay. And I just don't ever hear that, a glacier tongue. I just don't hear that term often. And often encounter wildlife like musk oxen. I don't think that's just me struggling. That's just hard to say really fast. Encounter wildlife like musk oxen.
I know, it's like a play on, it's too many like words or something.
Yeah. What runners like about it, the extreme environment and breathtaking, untouched, that is pretty cool, untouched Arctic wilderness. It's an opportunity to experience an incredibly remote and unique landscape, truly testing one's limits against the elements. Interesting, this one doesn't talk about the temperature.
I know, I was looking, I almost wanted to look that up a minute and say, what is the temperature of the Polar Circle Marathon?
We can probably Google that pretty quick and come up with something. I'm going to talk about the first-hand experiences. You're doing that. First-hand experience insight. The cold is intense. So I'm guessing it's cold. The cold is intense and the footing can be tricky with the ice. But the silence, here we go again. The silence and the vastness of the Greenlandic landscape are just incredible. You feel like you're running on another planet.
This says it's actually colder. Oh, no. So Celsius, minus 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. That's
okay.
So
around 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's similar.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, again, it's interesting that this one talks about the silence and vastness, just like, I mean, in the Antarctic one, which makes sense. Those are both very untouched areas.
We should have looked up the dates on them so we could say, hey, you could do...
Yeah.
When could you do both? But they have made it to do the 7 continents. They have made that easier because there's a company that does it. Not cheaper though, because I think it's like private planes to do that.
It's a
so
fortune.
There's a company that puts it on, and it's not like old school when people were chasing a record, you had to put all of your own travel together. Now they
kind
do
of
it for you.
Catered, for you. Yeah. That's another one. So for me, this list, I do not have any interest in the first or the last. I just don't have an interest in being cold and freezing.
Yeah, but for the bragging rights,
I just don't care. You can do it, and I'll say amazing. But
look at you go!
But I don't want to do it. All the rest, I'm in. I am in on all the others.
What if somebody says, hey, I'm going anyway and I got an extra ticket?
Oh, then I'm in. Yeah. I would not pay my own money.
Because we like free stuff.
Yeah. I would not spend my own money. But if you're going to take care of some things, yeah, I'll go.
What if you have to eat like polar bear or something like that too on top of it?
I'm okay with that.
All right.
I mean, as long as it's like legal, not doing illegal stuff. But
whale blubber. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a list of 10 very unique marathons. Let us know about yours. What are some marathons that you know about, or because there's another one that I'm thinking of. Again, it starts to get a little bit blurred. Like Comrades throws it off a little bit because that's an ultra. There are some really crazy ultras. Very unique.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to do a list of just crazy ultras.
Yeah. And that, I think...
But ultras aren't as popular as this. Like, it's just coming in.
Yeah. These aren't necessarily... Well, I mean, these are popular, but this is labeled unique. Mm-hmm. To me, that's different than popular.
Right. I agree.
And so I think these are probably very popular, unique. I think you're right. These would be very popular and unique. But when you throw in Comrades and then you open up the door of ultras, man, there are so many crazy, weird ultras that talk about a list. We should look that up. We'll look at that. But tell us in the comments what you think are some very unique, I would say marathon/races that you've done, because there are some very unique ones out there and very fun.
Because I thought this list, when I was first searching, it would pull up something like Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
Or And it's funny, when I was doing more searching, it came up with Hatfield McCoy. Like, I've done that one.
Which is a interesting one because it's really just across 2 states.
It is, and it's themed, and it does cover a lot of history of the actual feud and talk about.
Fargo does 2 states too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Tell us about your unique marathons in the comments that you either have done or want to do. And
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. All your favorite listening platforms. But that is going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.